Hello, this is Karen Shanung, and today I'm going to be presenting on Epicor 10 user-defined fields. There are a few differences between version 8 and version 9 and how Epicor 10 uses user-defined fields. So in order to get ready for using your user-defined fields, you have to go through these basic steps. First, you want to determine which user-defined fields are required to hold the data that you want to save in your Epicor application. Next, you're going to use a form customization to display your user-defined fields. Then you will add your user-defined fields to the extended user-defined fields maintenance menu. You're going to synchronize your user-defined fields to the Epicor database. You're going to bind your user-defined fields in your forms customizations, and then we'll show you examples of using your user-defined fields in business activity queries. We will perform all these steps with actual demos in Epicor 10. So when determining which user-defined fields are required, you're going to choose a menu item where you want to display these fields. You're going to find the tables that are needed for that menu item, and then you're going to determine the types of fields you need. For example, dates, numeric fields, checkboxes, etc. Then you're going to create a customization. So you open a form in your customization mode, developer mode. You'll use the toolbox to add your user-defined fields. And then you want to keep track of your field names and their data types, again defined as the date data type or numeric data type or text data type, etc. The next step will be to add your user-defined fields to the extended user-defined fields maintenance menu. So you'll open this menu item in Epicor. You're going to search for the table to see if there are already existing user-defined tables or defined fields in that table, and if so, you can just add new fields to that already existing UD table. Otherwise, you will add a new table to be able to then add your new fields to that table. After you've added your extended user-defined fields, you're going to perform the steps to synchronize your UD fields to the database. So in that menu item, extended user-defined field maintenance, you will sync all tables to the database. That's recommended. You can choose to only sync the current table also. You then will open the admin console on your server and regenerate the database, and you will reset IIS when no one is using the Epicor environment. Then you're going to go back to your customization so you can bind your user-defined fields to your form. Your newly added fields are now there in your drop-down list to be available to bind to the fields in the tables. You'll notice that although you created a table underscore UD, the epi binding will be the related table.field name underscore C. This will make more sense when you see the demonstration. Then we'll use your UD fields in business activity queries. Again, the field or the table you use will just be the table name and not table underscore UD, but you will find your new fields named as table.fieldname underscore C. And you should sort your fields alphabetically in the business activity query creator if needed to help find your fields. So next we'll be moving on to the actual demos in Epicor 10. We're going to show how to customize the form with the UD fields, add those fields to the extended user-defined table maintenance, synchronize those fields to the database. We're going to actually only do that part partially. I'll show a picture of the steps, but we don't want to actually do that part because people might be using our database at this time. We're going to show how you can then connect your fields that you created to the EPI binding by using some that we previously added, and we'll show how you can display them in the BAQs from previously added user-defined fields. So that concludes the presentation portion, and now we'll move on to the actual demo of Epicor. So for our presentation today, we're going to demo adding a couple of fields to the customer shipment entry screen. So the first step we're going to do is click on the little wrench down here, which puts us in developer mode, and then we're going to open customer shipment entry. I have that in my favorites just for ease of demonstration, but you can also find it in the menu item. So we're going to create a new customization, so we just say OK here. And then to start our customization, you go to Tools, Customization, and you wait a short time for it to come up. And then we're going to flip over to the header screen on the customer shipment because we want to add a few fields on the header screen. We're going to open our toolbox by going to Tools and then Toolbox in the customization screen. And I'm going to minimize the customization screen just to get it out of our way for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and add 2 checkboxes. And 2 dates. And you just do that by selecting the item in your toolbox and then clicking on an area in your form where you want to place it. And you can kind of neaten them up, move them around, make them bigger, etc. And then we're going to bring back up the customization box, and we can name our fields that we just added to whatever name we'd like to. So I'm naming the checkboxes check 1 and check 2. And the dates date 1. And date 2. And I'm going to go ahead and save our customization because so far we haven't saved it. And we can name our customization whatever we want to. This is customer shipment customization. And give it a description. Here you can add some information about what your customization includes. So if you then have saved it, you can go ahead and close it and reopen it. And you will see your customization listed in the list of customizations here. This is the one we just created. So you can click on it and open it. And then you can go to the header sheet and verify, oh, I see my 2 check boxes and I see my 2 date boxes. But those items are currently there, but there are no values in those items. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the extended user defined fields maintenance. And for now we can turn off the developer mode because we already have our form developed, and then we don't keep getting an extra window in between each step. So here we're going to look for our table name. We were in the customer shipment entry screen, so I know behind the scenes that we added our fields to the header screen, so that is called the ship head table. So we'll start searching for ship, and we see there is already an existing ship head user defined table. And there already are some fields here existing, and we can add new fields if we'd like to. And to do that, you can just go to new column, and then you can name your column whatever you'd like to name your column. So we'll call our first one replace check. And that can be our description if we'd like, or we could spell it out more if you'd like to also. We have to choose the data type, which is going to be Boolean for a checkbox, and we have to put in a label, and there you might want to have it be something more like that. And notice that I typed in replace check, and Epicor automatically puts in the underscore C. So then we'll go ahead and save that. And we'll do a new column. Cancel check. Again, that's going to be Boolean. And we'll put in our label. And we will save that. And then we will put in our date columns. Replace date. and this time the data type will be date, and it automatically shows the format of date, but if you needed to change the format or whatever, you could change the format in that area. And our label will be replace date. And we'll save that one. And now we'll add the last one, which is cancel date. And we will put that in our description and change it to a date data type, and then have our label again. So now that we have our 4 columns added to our user-defined table of ship head, we want to go to actions and then sync all tables to the database. So we can go ahead and do that first step, and it's going to tell us that you're going to synchronize all your extended table definitions. Do you want to continue? Say yes. You can also choose to just sync this specific table to your database. So that's going to take a couple of minutes, and we'll show a message when it's done. And then the next couple of steps for synchronizing your user-defined tables, I mentioned that we aren't going to actually perform those steps. We're going to just show screenshots of those because somebody might be actually using our database at this time. There we go. It shows the synchronization to the database finished, and so we can say OK. And this shows a picture of the next couple of steps to do to complete the actual synchronization of your user-defined tables to your Epicor database. So the first step is that you're going to be selecting your database server in your Epicor admin console. In this case, it's our training database we have selected, and on the right hand side we choose to regenerate the database. Then you might also need to go to the server management, not the database server management, but the server management, and select your environment and recycle the IIS application pool. And then the final step, which should only be done when nobody is using your Epicor environment, is to perform IIS reset at a command prompt. So now that we have user-defined fields added to our tables, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to bind those fields in our customization. We have to first again turn on developer mode. So here we're going to show how we added some user-defined fields previously, and we're going to rebind them. So on the contacts for the customers, we added a new sheet, and I'm going to go into customization mode. And we're just going to show how you can bind them. We'll take out the current bindings here and just show you how to find them. So our newly created user-defined fields won't have any value in the epi binding. And so we're going to search for the table that we know is used on the contacts screen here, and that would be the contact table. And we're going to open that up and look for the previously set up user-defined fields in the extended user-defined field maintenance. So the first one is called years known, and here we find it alphabetically, and notice it has years known underscore C. That means it's a custom user-defined field. So if we double click on that, now this field is bound to that field. And next we're going to look for favorite color, again under the contact table, and then alphabetically favorite color. And then we have birthday, again under the contact table, and then we have birthday underscore C, indicating a user-defined field. So now we'll go ahead and save our form, and then we'll go ahead and close it and reopen our form. So we can pick any of the customers that exist, and hopefully they have some contacts. We'll try one more. Here we go. So Chicago Leasing has some contacts, and we'll add some personal information for them. Then we'll save that information, and now we'll go ahead and create a BAQ and see that this information is available in the BAQ. Again, we'll take off developer mode so that we can skip a screen in between. And we can call this whatever we want to. And now we're going to look for the table, but we're not going to look for contact UD. We're going to just look for, actually it's customer contact here, because Epicor shares the contact tables. So it wouldn't be customer contact underscore UD, it's just customer contact. And now we're going to go ahead and display some fields. And when we open up the table for the fields to display, you can see they're not alphabetically. So we're going to go ahead and sort them alphabetically so that we can see all the fields and more easily find our user-defined fields. So we might want to show the customer num and the actual name of our contact, and then we definitely want to show our new user-defined field, the birthday, the favorite color, and years known. Then we'll go to analyze our table, and if we click on test, we should see some data. And here we can see our values that I just entered today, and then these are ones that I had previously entered for our demonstration. But what you really want to notice is that your fields are all with underscore C in the BAQ, and that they use the table cust CNT and not cust CNT underscore UD. So that concludes our demonstration for today. I thank you for joining us.